This conference will now.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Last class, React. We started React, right? What React is basically? How many people you know creating project, creating functional component, working with the JSX, all those things. Okay. Okay. So let us go with the React.js starting point onwards. Why React.js? What are the different kind of benefits which are going to be available top of the React.js? So today onwards, daily you have to follow the flow of the React.js. I'm going to be sending these React.js classes into the YouTube or whatever you want. You can take from the Google Drive, all these things. So React.js is basically JavaScript library. JavaScript library. Before going to React.js, what we need to know? What are the prerequisites we need to have library, and what are the different kind of prerequisites we need to know? The prerequisites are very simple. One is HTML, knowledge in HTML, knowledge in CSS, knowledge in JavaScript. In the part of JavaScript, we have to know some concepts of ES6. That's enough. No need to go for TypeScript. No need to learn TypeScript and all. And after this, the very important thing we need to know. So, what is XML? How to work with XML? And what is this JSX? The syntax of React completely follows using with the JSX. And React.js is basically a component library. Component component library. React.js is basically a component library where we will be having multiple type of components. See, for example, you are going to be creating a website or web page, and this web page is going to be having a lot of components. For example, this web page is going to be having header component, and this web page is going to be having some kind of footer component, and this web page is going to be having some kind of logo, and this website is going to be having a lot of buttons, each and everything each and everything is each and everything is a component. Basically, this kind of web pages, how to create in HTML, we know. In HTML, what we are doing, we are actually placing tags. Tags are nothing but bricks. You are placing bricks, and you are going to be constructing a web page using with HTML, using with the tags, we know that. But here what we are doing is, here we are going to be creating components, customized tags. Component is customized tags, same like HTML, but inside component, this component is JS component. Now this kind of brick is JavaScript brick. Inside the JavaScript brick, we will be having the HTML again. Why? Because of browser can able to understand only HTML. So that is the why reason we are going to be having all component bricks. This component is nothing but a JSX component. For example, here I'm going to be placing multiple components. This header is a JSX, and footer is JSX. Logo is JSX. Everything is going to be a JSX file. Everything is going to be a JSX file. Even buttons also JSX. Everything is going to be under JSX. How React architecture will be? So you have the JSX like this. This is JSX. And what is this JSX component? What is the architecture of this component? This architecture is completely JavaScript with HTML. This component is, for example, JSX is going to be having JS. Inside JS, we are going to be writing some HTML code. We are trying to creating a component. That component is going to be internally having HTML code inside. That's it. So components are two types. Components are two types. Either it is a functional component or class component. Okay, let me take that. So your component is going to be having two type of components. One is the functional component, one is the class component. component. React is component library, I told you. Component library. Inside this component, types of components, there are two types of components which are going to be available. One is the functional component, one is the class component. Functional component is one, and class component is one. One is the functional component, one is the class component. Functional component created with function keyword. Class component created with a class keyword. This is function. This is creating with the function keyword, and this is going to be creating with the class keyword. Got my point? And functional component only have return function, return keyword. Functional component is going to be having only return, and the class component is going to be having two keywords. One is the render, one is the return. Inside render, you will be having return. Please, sir. One sec. Okay, so components are two types. One is a functional component, one is a class component. And functional component, which is going to be having function keyword, creating with function keyword, and inside function there is some concept called return. Return function is going to be returning something to you. Whenever this function is going to be calling something, something is going to be returned. So whenever you are coming out of the room, you are closing the door, you are locking the door. So that is what actually you are doing some work. At that time you are going to be returning something. You are going to marriage party, taking a gift. Coming from marriage party, taking some food. So in the same way, whenever this function is going to be calling, whenever this function is going to be using, something is going to be written. Okay, if I am going to be writing a component, functional component called button. When I write this functional component, when I am trying to using this functional component button, how to use the button component? I can able to use this button component should be like this. I can able to use that particular button component like this. Whenever I am using that, automatically whatever the code you are writing inside the button, that will be executing to you. So, and class component is going to be having two parameters, two things, two keywords. One is the render keyword, one is the return keyword. So class component should be render, should be initiate, and class component is going to be having some life cycle. Functional component, there is no life cycle. Class component, there is some life cycle, when it is going to be starting, when it is going to be executing, when it is going to be blocking, when it is going to be entering. All these things, class component is going to be having, life cycle is going to be having. And one more point, functional component does not have state management system, but class component is going to be having state management system. Okay, for example, I'm going to be creating a component. This component is functional component. It's going to be a functional component. If it is a functional component, all properties are read-only properties. All properties are read-only properties. So what is the meaning of read-only, read and write? There are two concepts. One is read-only. There is a one more concept, read and write. Read and write nothing but you can able to read, you can able to write. Read only means only. Suppose something like you are going to be having a textbook. Textbook is going to be having read only property. What is the textbook? You can read the textbook, you can read the paragraphs, lines, whatever it is. That is read only. You're reading. But what is the meaning of read and write? Both you can do. So one of the page is going to be having reading, one of the page is going to be having writing. So that is actually class component. Class component is going to be having all read and write properties. Read and write nothing but state changing. So whenever you are purchasing the book, you have the book 2 pages. This page is going to be a filled page. This page is going to be empty page. So after reading the first page, you are writing something in the first page. That is what actually state change. So that state change management system, which is going to be available in the class component. But in functional component, that kind of system is not available. Just try to remember it. That is a major difference between the class component and functional component. But functional components when we use, class components when we use. But most of the time people will use functional components only. Rendering speed is very good with functional components. Rendering speed is little bit slow when you take a class component. But using with the functional components also, you can work with the read and write procedures. That concept actually called hooks. Hooks. With hooks, what we can do is using with functional component only, you can able to follow the state changing system. No need to, there is no concept of class component, only functional component you write. But that functional component, you can able to try to work with a read and write system, that is nothing but state management system. So that is the major difference between the functional and class component. Okay, React is completely component library. We know that. And each and every concept is a simple separate file, JS file or JSX file. And that JSX file, which is going to be having a function that should be export. And somewhere we are going to be using this button. That file we have to import. Here it is exporting, there it is importing. So try to understand few concepts before starting React, before starting into the entering into the programming. React is completely a component library. That components are JS bricks, JavaScript bricks, not HTML bricks. In normal JavaScript, we are writing HTML bricks, but in React, we are writing JavaScript bricks. But this JavaScript brick container, this is the container, this brick is the container, this container contained HTML again. So this is the one actually. That container is going to be having HTML again. And now your visualization content is HTML, but visualized file is JavaScript file. File is JavaScript file, but content is HTML and CSS. Inside HTML, you can write CSS also. And completely React with virtual DOM. I told you what is virtual DOM. What is the importance of the virtual DOM? Virtual DOM, small changes whenever we are going to be done on top of the web page. Those small changes, original DOM no need to respond. Only virtual DOM is going to be responding, and this virtual DOM actually pasting this into the original DOM finally. Small works done with the virtual DOM. Assistant. That assistant is going to be doing the small works. For each and every concept, the original DOM is no need to take a response. And finally, whatever the state you are changing, that state got updated in the original DOM finally by the virtual DOM. Why? Because of virtual DOM is a copy of the original DOM. So that is the one more benefit of the React. What are the features of the React? I will write now. Okay, now tell me what is React.js? React.js is modern JavaScript library. Modern JavaScript library. And React follows ES6 and JSX. React is open source. React developed by Facebook. So some points you have to remember. Facebook in 2013. June, I think so. I don't know the date. Yes, 2030. And prerequisites of React. What are the prerequisites for React? HTML, CSS, and JS. And yeah, React follows CS6 and JSX. React is open source. No need to pay for React. You can freely download. And React developed by Facebook in 2013. And prerequisites for React is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That's it. Then finally, React is front-end library. Front-end library. Front-end library, and this is a modern UI. What is that? You can say this is modern UI. Modern UI. So modern UI and React applications are fast. React applications are fast. Fast or not? Yes, fast. Fast render. Fast render in browser. React follows virtual DOM. React follows virtual DOM. So let me write what is virtual DOM. If anybody asks a question, interview question, what is virtual DOM? What is VDOM? I'm not writing every time virtual DOM. VDOM. What is VDOM? Interview question. VDOM is the blueprint of VDOM. VDOM is blueprint of VDOM. Yeah. VDOM is blueprint of VDOM. VDOM nothing but original DOM. First point. React is okay. VDOM is blueprint of VDOM. Okay. How the picture will be? A picture will be very simple. So this is your original DOM, and this is your virtual DOM. If some components are there in the virtual DOM, these components are updating in the virtual DOM. This is original DOM. Original DOM already components are there here, and here you have the virtual DOM. Virtual DOM is the blueprint of original DOM, right? Or real DOM. And in virtual DOM, what is going to be happening? RDOM, real DOM, or ODOM, original DOM. And this is VDOM. So what is happening in the VDOM? Some concept got updated, some component got updated, some other three components we got added on the top of the virtual DOM. And a lot of works are doing, lot of components are updating, lot of content is updating. And finally, this is going to be transform all the changed things into the original DOM later. Not immediately later. Not immediately later. Later, all these things are going to be updating into the original DOM. So then the works are very fast. Why? Because of you're touching on number of components on top of the Facebook. All these are finally updating on top of the virtual DOM later. So this is so much interactive, so much fast with virtual DOM. So that is the benefit of the virtual DOM. Please understand how the things are going to be happening. VDOM is the blueprint of original DOM, and small kind of observations, taking care by VDOM, and finally updating with VDOM. Sorry, VDOM. Finally updating with VDOM. So that is the benefit with virtual DOM, with VDOM, application interaction faster than faster. That's all enough. So you can say answer like this. And now React developed on npm. React developed on Node. React developed on Node.js. So that is the very reason before installing React, before creating project with React, Node.js we need to install in our system. Okay, let me go with installation. Let me go with the installation. So installation is very simple, guys. If you want to install React project, if you want to create React project, first of all, Node.js installation is important. Node.js installation is needed. How to install Node.js? Node.js.org. Just go to Node.js.org, download Node based on your operating system. Based on your operating system. Okay, that's all very simple. Just go to node.org. Node.org, Node.js.org. Sorry. Node.js.org and download latest version, recommended version. Don't go for the latest features or beta version. Download recommended version. Whatever the recommended version which is going to be available, that version you have to go for. 16.14 is the recommended version, latest version for you. Don't go for the upgrading version. Upgrading version is the beta version. Beta version always giving issues to you. Don't go for the beta version. Don't go for the beta version. Go with the recommended version. Just go for the recommended version. Recommended version. And after this, check your node installed properly or not in your command line. Go to command line. Go to CMD for Windows users. Windows users, CMD. Mac users, terminal. Mac users, terminal. Even Linux also terminal. But I'm using Mac. I'm checking with Node. Either Node is installed in my system or not. Go with the terminal. I'm going with terminal, but you have to go with the what? Windows system. Command line. Okay. So let me check Node is installed or not. Node -v. My node is 14.17.6. Little bit old version. Huh? Can I update it? Can I upgrade it? Download the latest version. I'm downloading now on top of desktop. Just go it and install it. Install 16.14.0. Go Corona, go. 1 2 3 3 2 1. Install software. Okay, fine. Yep. So this package was installed, and close this and go to terminal one more time and re-enter the command. My version now updated 16.14.0. Next npm, so -v. npm I got 8.3.1. This is npm version. So we got both. Now immediately what your requirement is? Immediately your requirement is you have to go with the let me do any folder I created on top of desktop for React apps. I have the folder React apps. I'm deleting it, sir. I don't want to waste my memory of the system. Move to bin everything. Okay, now I'm going to be preparing a new folder. Okay, I'm going to be preparing a new folder. Now new folder is something like React underscore apps. My folder name is React underscore apps. Okay, already taken. Somewhere it is there. Where is this? Already folder is there. I'm just deleting it. Okay, so React apps underscore apps. Try to understand. You have to create a folder on top of desktop or any your drive, C drive, D drive, D drive, whatever your drives are there. But I don't have that number of drives in my Mac system. On top of desktops, I'm going to be creating a React apps folder. So just navigate to the folder. How to navigate? CD desktop first. So your folder, your path, something like OneDrive, whatever it may be. So you have to give the properly the path. Without giving the path, the project we don't create. Huh? So just desktop I am now cd react underscore apps. Now in our folder is now react underscore apps. So in this I want to create a project npx space create hyphen react hyphen app space project name. What is the project name you want? The project name should be in small letters. Project name should be in small letters. Don't give capital letters for the project name. So you should remember some points in React.js. There are a lot of points you have to remember, but the point how to create projects, sir? Open terminal or open command line. Open command line. First you check with what? Node and minus v. Check with what? npm minus v. After that, create a folder. Create a folder on top of desktop. On top of desktop. For example, I am going to be creating a folder called React apps. Just follow the documentation, sir. Whenever you want to create project, you are going to be following the things. I will prepare the notes. I could not able to send these files. Why? Because of big space. So whatever the content I am going to be writing daily, that files I will write the note. That note you have to follow and do the procedure, do the projects. I create a folder on top of desktop React apps. Now, second point. Open command line, open cmd, navigate for the folder path. Navigate to folder path. Yes or no? Okay. Navigate to folder path. Immediately, what my requirement is, give command or enter command. Enter command. What command now? npx create react all small letters app, some project name, whatever the project name you want, you can give. Create react app, something like demo. And here the point is important. Project name should be in small letters. Project name should be in small letters. And one more point, project name do not have spaces. Do not have spaces. Project name should not have special characters. See, all these points are very common, but sometime we are going to be trying to creating the project, sir. I cannot able to create the project, sir. I'm giving everything correct, sir. No, sir, you are having space, sir. You are having a capital letter, sir. Check it out, sir. Okay, sir. So project name should not be have special characters. So some points without underscore. Underscore allowed. Underscore allowed. Okay, that's all. And I created a project now. Where it is? Okay, not created. So just make it enter. It will take few minutes. Oh my God. In the latest version, so give me the time. You are running Create React app behind the latest release. We no longer support the global installations of Create React app. Please remove all global installation. Following command npm uninstall -g create React app yarn global remove create React app latest installation following. Okay. Run npm -g npm. What happened? Create latest. nps create. Okay. 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 Let me see. Why? Now it will take a few minutes time to you to install the project. Okay, so after creating your project, just give me a few seconds. I'm going to be checking with you with the diagram. This will take time. Now I'm trying to creating the project creation diagram. This is the first diagram. This is the second diagram. First of all, whenever you create a project, this project is going to be having a lot of folder structure. Lot of folder structure. So you will be having the folder structure should be like this. You'll be having the folder structure. So folder structure. Okay. So in this folder, we will be having a lot of files. The first file which is going to be having index.html. Just try to understand. One file is index.html, and one more file is index.js. Index.js, and one more file is index.css. Yes or no? Index.css, and one more file maybe app.js, capital app.js, and app.css, app.css, and app.html, app.html. HTML is there. Only index.html. There is no other HTML file. Only one HTML file you can able to find in the React project. That HTML file is only index.html, and no other HTML files could be available. Only JS files and CSS files. So this is our first component. Any other file? Main.js is there, no? Main.js is there? No, sir. No main file. Main is there. There is. So there is a one folder called npm folder. npm folder. npm folder. A lot of packages. npm packages should be available. And one more is log files. Some of the log files. Package.json. Package log.json. Package.json. One package.json is there. One package log.json is there. Package.json. So package.json, which is going to be having a lot of packages installed with the JSON content. So that is a .json file. .json file we know, right? What is .json file? JavaScript file. .json. JSON file. JSON file means it is going to be having a lot of key value pairs. If it is object, key value pairs. If it is array, collection of values. In the morning session. So today morning session only we discussed about it. Okay. This folder structure. Now you are going to be getting the browser. So this browser is going to be launched by. Index.html, and index.html having root element ID, one ID called root, one division is there, and this index.js triggered with what? Index.js. What index.js contained with? No, you have the root and you have the app.js reference. You have the root, you have the app.js reference. So compulsory app.js is going to be referred here. App is going to be referred on top of the root. Two parameters. First parameter is what I need to render. Second parameter is where I need to render. This one should be available inside react.dom.render. There is a function. That function is the entry point of your complete application, react.dom.render. So react.dom.render. So remember, sir, react.dom.render is the entry point of the project. So react.dom.render is the entry point of the project. Entry point of the React application. Interview question. Entry point for React application. Yes or no? React application. Entry point for the React application. That's it. And now Tell me. And app.js is going to be having what? Okay, sir, app is going to be rendering, app is going to be initiating on top of the root. App is there, app is a component. This component is actually placed on top of the root. A root is going to be executing on top of the browser. But app containing what? App containing something like your functional component. App is nothing but a functional component, right? App.js is functional component. This app is going to be having some content, whatever you want. And this app is going to be having some functions, sir. This app is going to be having some function, functional component. And this function is going to be render or return. Yes, sir, return. This function is going to be return. Return what it is going to be returning. Whatever you want, you can return it. You are returning some HTML code. You can return some HTML code. So this is the predefined structure which is going to be available, and this browser is going to be working with the local host. The default server got created from node, and this is what actually local host, maybe local host 3000. Most of the time 3000 will come. Localhost 3000 and localhost 3000, and this what actually, this is a node server. What is this? Node server. On top of the node server, React project is running, sir. On top of the node server, React project is basically running. On top of the node server, React project is going to be running. Okay, so some architecture, predefined, pre-built architecture, which is already designed with node, by Facebook. Is that Facebook? Yes. Go to this, and this is got installed. This is got installed, and now I need to navigate into the folder. How to navigate into the folder? CD space demo. CD space demo. Okay, so I'm in demo now. Now I need to enter npm start. So npm start. npm start means automatically my project is getting started. Okay, so project name. Okay, lot of things. Special characters. One is the CD space demo. CD space demo. Then npm start. Okay, so here he's telling like latest. You can go for latest like. Where is my project? I got my project. I got my project open. Open now. Okay, now open your Visual Studio Code. Open your Visual Studio Code and try to open the project. Where is the project got created? Desktop, React Apps, demo. Select the demo folder and open it. Save, sir. Nine. Okay, sir. So this is the project I got now, and which is going to be having some structure over there. The one thing is node modules. There are a lot of node modules which are available, and one is the public folder. In public folder, some logo is running, right? Some logo is running, some hyperlinks are there. One is the hyperlink, one is the content. So just delete all the content, whatever you want. Okay. So I'm just deleting the logos. I don't want these two logos. You can delete it. You can delete two logos. Online 10 people. Anya, Lokesh, Nandana, Akash, Prashant, Sharda, Venkatini. Okay, fine. Now, index.html. Index.html is available. In index.html, you will be having some division that is called id root. And now go to the, don't change anything in the manifest.json. Don't change anything in the package.json. Don't change anything in the package log.json. Now go to the folder called src. Go to the folder called src. Okay, some fav icon not required, just delete it. Now go to the src. There is one logo svg, just delete it. This is also not required. And now go to the index.js. In index.js, what is going to be happening? In index.js, document.getElement by id root. On top of the root, what is going to be available? App is available. Can you see app is there now? React strict mode. If you want, you can delete this component. Not required. That is one type of container. That is one type of strict container. If you don't want, you can delete it. React DOM.render. React DOM.render, and which is going to be having one app component, and this is going to be on top of the root. I told you what I need to render, where I need to render. And here the concept is very simple, sir, please come. So this is what actually what I need to render. Question mark, first question mark is what I need to render. React asking us what I need to render, where I need to render. So where? On top of the root. Basically this root is sending to the browser. That root is sending to the browser, and division is sending to the browser. On top of the division, please place app. And what is app, sir? App containing with something. App is a JS component. App is a JS component. Just go to the app.js now. Go to the app.js. Just delete all the content, whatever you have. Okay, I have a lot of things. I am just having header. I am deleting the header. And this is a functional component. Logo is not there. We can remove the logo. And everywhere logo is there. Now app.js. Now in app.js, import app.css. CSS is okay, fine. And functional component, function app, and open curly braces, closing curly braces, and which is going to be returning something. What it is going to be returning? It is returning a division. So remember one point. Return always returns single element. Return always returns single element, not multiple elements. This door is going to be having only one lock. Return always going to be one element. Try to remember this. Don't put multiple elements over there. You could not put multiple elements over there. Only one element it is going to be returning. Okay, so what one element now? That one element is, it should be some container. For example, if you have a lot of elements, you have headings, you have paragraphs, you have images, put all these elements into the one division. Put all these elements into one division and return the division. Got my point, huh? So return always returns. So this is the return function, huh? This is the return one. Return always having only one. Only one means if you want only h1, okay, you can do that. If you want only button, okay, you can do that. But if you have button and h1 paragraph, or form, table, multiple components, then you take only one element, single element. One more fundamental point you have to remember it. Okay, so what is the fundamental point here? Return always returns. So there is no nodes here, nodes closed. Okay, no problem. Return always returns a single element. Okay, can I return something now inside the division? What I want to do, I will write h1. So hello React, welcome. Now you see the browser. I got h1. Hello React, welcome. So I got it. But text align center. Why text align center? There is some CSS which is already working with. Okay, so there is some app.js, app.css. Where is app.css? First one. Okay, so logo, I don't want logo content. App header content, all these things. Okay, text line. Okay, Can I go for the left? Okay, center is okay. Now for app is complete app, right? App is going to be having some background color. Can I give some background color for the app? Click a barley wood, font style. All this is your CSS. All this is your CSS. Okay, you're doing something here, automatically there it is changing. There it is changing. Is it clear, sir? How to create, component, how to create a component, creating component, functional component and class component, both we will do today. Okay, let me create a functional component. How to create functional component? So create a header, capital letters. Whenever you are going to be creating a component, either functional or class, go with the capital letters. Don't go with the small letters. Header.js. Header.js. Okay, let me write some point. Okay, I'm not writing points here. Later I will add it. Now this is the app.js, for example, and this time it is header.js. Okay, app.css compulsory required, and change the header, and this is also header. Header should be import and export, both should be happen, and header is going to be written. Header is going to be written something like this one. Okay, that is enough. That is going to be returning only single component. Header got exported, and header need to be imported here. How to import header? Sorry, import dot import header from. Okay, so header is already there, and let me try to use the header over there. How to use header? Can I have one more header? I can able to use n number of headers, right? Inside the division, you can put n number of components. That is not a problem. Inside the division is the root level element. Inside the division, you can put n number of elements, not a problem. So now I have 3 headers, and finally I got a output. Don't need to save, sir. Don't need to save. Automatically it will be rendering. Can I have some space between header to header? How to give space? Margin, margin, bottom 5 pixel. Is it okay? This is inside app. Okay. Okay. Let me do one simple thing. This is H1. Okay. Let me give the H1. H1 margin bottom 10 pixel. Let me take it. No, not taking. One second. Inside this one is not there here. Is there? Okay. Export is there, but import also there. Import React from React, maybe fine. Okay, let me do one thing. So I'll take breaks over there. Where I'm taking breaks now, header.js. After this, can I take break? If you want to take a break, okay, let me do here. Here I'm taking break. How to give break tag? Suppose it is taking break. Oh, okay. It's sorry. The background we are giving, we are not giving for background color. We are not giving background color, right? How to give background color for header? App.css. This is coming for complete app. This one. That is the problem. This is now Barleywood. Only this one is Barleywood now. Yeah, now it is okay. And now these things are not required. VR is not required. Maybe You can delete BRs. Now you can see all headers came. Now let me create a footer component. Let me create a footer component. This footer component is a class component. Let me create a footer component now. Footer.js. Footer.js. And this will be a class component, sir. And where is the header.js? Footer.js. Now need to go for import. This is not required, and this time it is class. Footer class React class footer extends from React.component. Extends from React.component, and this is going to be having from extends React.component, and this is going to be render okay, render and rendering, which is going to be return. What do you want to return? Can I take h2 hello React? Is this footer? Yeah. So now footer need to be export. How to export? So this is already exported. Now I need to import this into app.js. Now import footer from footer. That is okay, fine. Now one header is there, one footer is there. Can I take footer now? Sorry, footer header got imported, exported, and footer got exported. Header got imported, footer got imported. Now footer came. So footer is going to be having h2 now. h2 position absolute, position fixed. Can I give fixed position for this? Position fixed, and width of this is 100%. Bottom 0 pixel, left 0 pixel, padding 20 pixel, font style italic, can be, where is the background color not there yet. Background color black, color should be white, now we got it. Footer placed. Header also you put position fix, huh? Header also you put position fix. How to give header position fix? You take all these things, background barley wood, no, background color black, color will be white. Can I take light blue? Okay. One second. Padding is okay. Font style italic, okay. So this will be top. This will be top left, huh? Top left, yes. Margin bottom. We got header, we got footer. Now, whatever the content you want, you can place inside the page. Okay, so inside this, can I take some images? IMG image src is equal to, you place some good image. Mosh Kundodu. You know Mosh? No? Mosh తెలీదా? Mosh MOSH. Okay, so now this header got fixed, footer got fixed, and your image is that is no top 0 here. You know, I will tell. Wait, margin 0 pixel. Maybe and దీనికి కూడా bottom also you can take margin 0 pixel. That is margin 0 pixel. Margin by default 2 pixel will take for every component in the browser. So that I deleted. Can I take this one full blue color? That should be good. And font should be white. Okay, try to create the same thing. Try to create the same thing by following the recording.